You may not be old enough to drive, but if you're a safe passenger, you've got a job to do. Gary is checking to make sure that the parking brake is in the proper release position. All clear, Gary? Looking good!
I love that. A special request for ambiguous gay duo, which I love, 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 love. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday, April 23rd of 2025. It is Wednesday, our Friday, and
Yay!
And yay! So, yeah, I mean, I literally have 18 clips, and that was a push.
How did you get 18 clips out of that?
I don't know.
It was horrible. You know what was even better? I didn't get any real sleep last night, and this was really tough because I kept on nodding. I was like literally, I was like a heroin addict. I was everyone's.
I know.
It was really it was tough.
It was tough. So I'm joined today by Dennis and, of course, Xavier, aka Mr. Whiskers. And sitting in with us would be What About Al tonight? Hello, Al.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, chat.
Indeed. So Al has turned out to be quite the font of useless information, which I love. I feel like it's Fatty Hardbuckle night. And yeah, so we don't really have a lot to report on the show tonight.
Well, there was a couple of things that
but nothing of any note, honestly. It was just one of those. It's just one of those days. A lot of Chris Wilding. I'm honestly a little tired.
God, Jesus.
I have no idea what's going on there, and it's
I think somebody took Ralph's place.
Kinda, except he's more involved in the show, if that's possible. Like he's a part of the show, and that's really disturbing.
Well, Ralph averaged like once a month at the most.
Well, and it got even less than that as time went on. I remember when he was actually living with Sam Simon, he wasn't on at all.
No,
he was like Sam Simon's Kato Kalin.
It's hard to call when your mouth's full.
Oh, yeah.
Bring out the gimp. I think the gimp's sleeping. Well, I guess you just have to go wake him up now, won't you?
You know, when you leave Xavier in charge of clips, I want you to know there must be like 100 now in our archive of shit.
Let me see.
I'm gonna call a couple of hard pipe hitting niggas to go to work on the homes here with a pair of pliers and a blowtorch.
I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I just work here. Or not, as the case may be. I don't know. Okay, so what are we starting with? He started with Afroman.
Yes, because that's relevant in 2025.
Yeah.
I mean, all the kids are talking about Afroman.
The last time we heard of him was like 10 years ago when he punched a girl who got on stage on some like nobody concert.
Yeah, because he has one song. So what's he gonna do? He plays one.
And it's a novelty song, dude. It literally is like
a follow up to it. Like I was gonna do this, but then I went to rehab.
I mean, he's literally up there with the 500 Mile guys and the Macarena dudes, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
As far as relevance.
I don't know anything about Afroman other than for some reason they engaged him to do a version of American Nightmare.
Wait a minute. How did they have him have time? How did he have time to do this? I mean,
who, Afroman?
Yeah, he must have had to carve out some time in his schedule.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Delivering DoorDash just keeps you busy, bro.
Keeps you busy. But you set your own hours, so there's that.
You worked around it.
Here's the craziest thing about today's show. The craziest thing is that for the first hour and a half, they talked almost incessantly about getting high and Cheech and Chong and all this shit. And I'm struggling to understand why the fuck he didn't have Cheech and Chong on as opposed to leaving it with Gary.
I know why.
Wet
I,
sock.
I absolutely know why.
Here we go.
They were on a bigger show earlier in the morning, and Howard was not going to change his beginning of his weekend for Cheech and Chong because they were not available till after 10:30. So that is why they were on another show at Sirius. I don't know who that could have been. Who does a show in the morning?
I don't know. Let's go see
It could have been Sam Roberts.
Cheech and Chong.
So, the thing is, these guys talking about getting high is like advertisement for, don't do it. You know what I mean? It literally is, they are an advertisement for not getting high because look how stupid you become.
Okay, let's take a look at this. Let me see.
Just say no.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Sorry. I didn't add it.
I hear music.
Okay, hang on.
Way back.
How you doing, buddy?
This is obviously not recent.
No. Take my seat. No.
Oh, this is with Artie, and this is 11 years ago.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, hold on.
That's not current.
6 hours ago. Let's see.
It's on Andy Cohen.
My mom.
You look so good, dude.
In fact, who is your mom? Maybe I'm your dad.
Yeah. Maybe you are. That would explain a lot.
That was 5 hours ago.
That got posted, but that means it may have been Andy Cohen.
Andy and John got to sit down with legends Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong to talk about their last movie, LSD, Diana Ross, and so much more. Listening on live weekend, 10 a.m.
Yep,
so,
that's it. That they want our Andy Cohen show first.
Oh wow! There you go. So that's where Cheech and Chong were, and then because of that, they got relegated to the wrap-up show with Gary and John. And the worst part of
JD
to me, well, the worst part about it is the way they were setting up the show with like stupid musical interludes and really like an overproduced JD getting high and asking questions kind of thing. It just seemed like really cheesy and kind of shitty, and something that the, D-list players would do if they had somebody in bigger than what they're used to. I don't know. You tell me, because it just sounded like it was going to be like a really shitty interview. Was it on today?
It was on today, and I have continued my streak of not listening to the wrap-up show. I think I'm at 12 years now. So yeah, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, and unless somebody like tags us into something that's going on, there's absolutely no reason to ever watch that show ever. I'm just trying to go on to Twitter,
listen to it
about it. On
somebody in the chat said that they watched it or listened to it.
Oh, and anything else? Anything to go with that?
So they said it was better than the Stern show today.
Wrap up.
Well, that's a low bar. Basically, we could just sit here and play kazoos and it'd be better than the Stern show.
Ah, no shit. Why don't I really see any video? I don't see any video about it.
No video.
Well, I could be wrong. Let me see. Okay, here's some video. Oh, well, here's some pictures from Getty. I guess from today. Let's take a look. Getty Images, silly boy.
Wow.
Yeah, here they are.
That's the same outfits they had when they were on Andy Cohen, when people actually could hear them.
Yes. Wow. This is, being relegated.
Our favorite contributor because of his name, STD.
Disgusting, jumpy goiter. Lumpy goiter. Formerly, it was good. Cheech asked, "Where's Howard?"
Did he really?
Nice.
That's great.
You know what?
I'd be interested.
Here's the thing. It's like it's their shtick was in most of the movies is how they're always avoiding or outsmarting the cops and stuff. But now pot's legal like everywhere. So it's like, and they're freaking ancient. I mean, what do they? what kind of comedy did they have to offer at this point?
Not much at
Yeah.
all.
And I know their share as much as the next guy, the over the boulder shoulder holder and all that shit. It was funny. But
They're legends. I mean, the legends in
nobody wanted to see that shit.
our
It's
childhood, like our,
it just
discovered
changed that.
pot.
You know what? You know what it is? Perfect example. It's like the last Indiana Jones movie. You have an 80-year-old Indiana Jones and shit.
That was
it's
horrible.
like, I mean, it's like, okay, at some point you gotta let it go. Just let it go.
Well, here's the thing too. They're plugging their documentary, and what the fans really wanted was an actual movie. They didn't want the documentary.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Jeremy, I love what you're saying here. So when I was in college, we got Afroman to play one of our frat parties. He wanted $1,000, 2 ounces of herb, and a bottle of 60 Xanax. You know what? Did you do it? That had to be a good deal. I think that's a good deal.
I think I honestly think that the 60 Xanax is a little too much.
It's,
I think they put it over the edge too much.
The thing about Afroman is when he had that novelty hit back in the late 90s, they did like a 2-week stint where they were making their own version of that song, and they were doing so what's the point of bringing him back now? He hasn't done anything since
he's just talking about getting high, that's all.
Yeah, but the thing is they did it. They already did that. You know what it is? It's like again it's like regifting something to the person that gave it to you a couple years later. You know, it's like
but it was, you know what it was? The 70 brainchilds of the Stern Show went and they like, hey, I got an idea. Let's talk, since Cheech and Chong are coming in, let's talk about pot because it seems cool until we talk about it. And I got even better. I think we can get Afroman to do the opening of the show because that would be really, really cool if this was 2000.
2000.
2000, he was already over by 2000.
It still had a little bit of fun in 2000, but
well, Jeremy is telling us that they had a great time with Afroman and everybody getting like totally lit. So I guess that's a good thing. But let's hear him at the beginning of the Stern Show. I tried not to play too much of clippage because I didn't know if we'd get a ding for it. So this I don't know.
Now the question is, would Beth give Afroman a cat?
Oh,
absolutely not.
No.
I've gotten dinged for a lot worse. So
I can't believe. I mean, somebody should be happy this is being played.
Corey Feldman dinged me for What's Up With
Yeah, but he's a real artist.
Real artist, really? Real artist, really? Real
Corey
artist?
Feldman, Jesus.
Corey Feldman ding. Fuck. All right, here we go.
Yeah. Love that. A little bit of Afroman doing the Great American Nightmare mashup kind of thing, I think.
It's not a mashup, you idiot.
But I love it. That's in honor of the fact that we have Cheech and Chong on the wrap-up show today.
So big, such big news.
Talking about getting high. 11 a.m. I got high. What a catchy little tune. I saw Robin and then I got high.
Dude, he did this like
exactly like
a generation ago, literally.
You know,
and then I got high.
Everything. You know, the thing is,
and you get high.
The thing is, this is once again cold Chinese food for friggin' Howard.
Dude,
this is almost 30 years old, and now we're kind of like discovering it, just like everything else.
Yeah, you know what? This is like back when Vanilla Ice used to do a remix of Ice Ice Baby every 5 years and trying to hope that it would catch on again.
He did that. He did that heavy metal version. That was
yeah, bro. But this is the same crap. This is the same crap. They did this already, and they did it to the point of nauseum for a couple of weeks, and then they moved on. And now, like you said, 30 years later, they're passing this off as fresh entertainment.
Stern Crew thinks talking about weed is irreverent and cool. The rest of us think it's lame. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, but I mean, they are the absolute advertisement for don't do drugs because, I mean, they couldn't sound stupider or more moronic while they were talking.
They are the podcast equivalent of when you see those mugshots of over several years of the meth addicts, where it's a really cute girl and she's a little bruised,
right
and then she just got. By the time you get to the end of it, it's like she's got no teeth and her jaw's falling off. That's what the Stern Show is, bro. At this point,
So JD, who everybody like goofs on that he totally triggers us at this point, and so he comes in to talk about Seth Rogen's THC sody pop that I guess he has and they have, but he couldn't for some reason understand the word can, like that it was in a can. The soda is in a can. So let's just play that real quick.
Yeah.
Worry about coughing and anything that's smoke in your lungs
That's
or anything.
true.
I hate.
Seth Rogen sent me his seltzer. He
has a seltzer now. Huh?
Yeah.
I tried some.
Wait, whoa. Stop.
It's good.
Blobbin was there. Literally was there.
No, she doesn't remember.
I guess maybe she was shopping online.
Exactly.
And totally took her.
She didn't care. She
took her earpieces out and didn't notice.
Good. It's good. I tried. I forget which kind. It's the tall. It's a tall thing or whatever.
Can is that whatever is a can? You mean?
You tried the tall one?
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm like, is that a bottle or a can? I don't know what he's doing.
A tall
with
whatever. You can't. You don't know the word for can.
Just trying to get.
That doesn't come to you right away.
Let me ask you something. When you talk, it's fascinating to me. Yeah. When you're talking and you're describing a can and you go, comes in a tall whatever. Yeah. It's like you really don't know the word for can.
Sometimes words don't come to me fast.
Right.
So
okay.
I'm trying to get to a point.
Yeah, that's a difficult one, Howard. When you rarely use.
There's no part of me that doesn't believe that if JD was on the show Love on the Spectrum, that he would thrive in that scenario.
I don't think so. I think even they would go, he's kind of weird.
He is.
Yeah, I mean, he's too weird for them. They're at least semi-normal. No. Remember, this is a guy that asked a girl to put peanut butter on their vajayjay. Okay,
we'll never forget that.
Yeah, so there's
and
that.
I mentioned that today, which I thought was kind of bizarre. Okay,
really not good.
So I'm reading what my words are for these clips, and they're just so stupid. So he went back to talking about how he used to get weed when he was younger, and again with these stories, it's so crazy to me that he was even like a psycho fuck back then, being worried about the weed being laced with something. It's like, dude,
that's bullshit.
Going to some guy's house to pick up weed. Do you think he's gonna lace it with he's so weird about it? Here, let me play it.
A bag of.
They messed me up a little bit that I did not like that so much.
Well, this is what got me into thinking maybe I'd get high, because I just feel like I've missed out that now that weed is legal and it's, and you know what's in it. Like when I used to buy a bag of weed, you didn't know what the fuck you would buy. I'd buy it for my friend's brother, and he'd sell to me. He was nude, laying on a bed and wearing a Mexican siesta hat. It was
whoa. That's called the sombrero. A Mexican siesta hat. I'm gonna go get my Mexican siesta hat. I'll be right back.
Wearing a Mexican siesta hat. It was like a whole strange way of buying this stuff. And then I take it home and go, how the fuck does this nude guy, who even knows if there's anything safe in this thing? Maybe there's paraquat or something. So, the idea of getting weed that has been chemically balanced and, really, it just seems intriguing to me. But the bottom line is, I hate being high. So,
yeah.
Hello, Grillo. He was wearing the urban sombrero.
Paraquat.
You know what? Am I the only guy that finds it weird that he seems to be paranoid about catching something from anything that he comes in contact with? Yeah, his wife freely admits that she's cheated on every single boyfriend and was getting plenty busy before she met him. But
babe, her uterus could be falling out of her fucking vagina and he'd still wear a condom. Like, seriously, there's no part of him that doesn't.
I got a feeling her clitoris looks like Tommy Lee's penis.
Oh.
You mean Beefus comes and swings it around?
Reel that fucker in. She's got to put that thing back in with like rare earth magnets and shit.
So paraquat was a pesticide. Was that back in the 70s or something? And
I don't know.
Was pot laced with paraquat? I mean, is this something?
that is such an idiotic thought, because for repeat customers, you don't try to poison them.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that literally,
Exactly. That's exactly.
You know what? I got a feeling a lot of this shit didn't happen. Call me crazy.
Yeah.
He
Well, the
has
thing is,
mentioned this before.
the story with the nude guy wearing the sombrero, because he actually called it a sombrero when he had mental capacity. That has been told 1,000 times. I believe it. I utterly believe it. That time and place, yeah, I believe that could happen.
Okay.
But being laced with shit, no, that's a new twist on it.
Well, that's his paranoia taking over. He's just so stupid. I will confess, though, because I have a really difficult time going to sleep. I thought Paraquat was a 70s Mexican folk band.
It still can be. That ship has not sailed yet.
That's funny. I can't even process how chuckly that is, but it's actually really funny. And so then, of course, everybody has to come in to talk about pot, right? They're all potheads. Obviously, they're all like just.
They're such bad advertisements for it, because there are people that function very well taking it. They're normal and they don't sound this dumb. These people sound dumb.
Dude,
they are.
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing about them is hip, man.
No.
And them then coming in and bragging about pot. It's like your mom coming in bragging about the last porn she saw.
Yeah, no shit.
It's like, who the hell wants to?
Hey, Vince Ostrowski, Howard got high on oregano.
Okay, so then Richard comes in. They're all talking about, their pot experience. I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. I wasn't even caring, to be honest with you.
No.
The only little gem I was getting out of this is really how utterly disgusting and vile Richard Christie is. So can we go there just for a quick hot moment?
Richard, how many days has it been since you showered?
What's today?
Wednesday. Yeah.
Sunday, I think.
Oh my God.
Like a farm animal.
If I was to run my finger along your taint, would it?
Okay.
Oh, come on, I just had a nice dinner.
Okay. If I was to run my finger down your taint, let us continue this conversation. Please hold.
If I was to run my finger along your taint, would it just reek?
Oh, I would get a massive boner if you did that.
I can't.
Your taint, would it just reek?
Oh, I would get a massive boner if you did that, Howard.
No. I mean, what's the smell like when you just pull off your underwear? Is it rancid?
Yeah, vinegary probably.
You like movies about gladiators?
How disgusting is that?
Very.
I it's one of the times I actually nodded out this morning. I missed that, thank Christ. Now, unfortunately, I've heard it, and I don't think I can recover.
That's what we're here for.
I need some paraquat.
Well, the fact that other dudes' penises and private parts live in his head 24/7.
Yes.
And yet he pretends to be a hetero dude.
Yeah, but Richard Christie playing into it too. I would get a boner.
Of course he would, because you know why? Because he knows if he loses that job, he's gonna be homeless. He ain't gonna get a job anywhere else after this crap.
Well, no, he could be a drummer for one of those places in a lounge.
Just remember, they talked about today how both Richard and Mamet have the longest commute into the city. They're both door to door about 3 hours, which is a tremendous commute.
Wait, each way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
6 hours of commuting.
Wait, where the hell does he live?
Apparently, Richard lives on the border of Pennsylvania somewhere, and I'm not.
He's got to live up in the northwest corner there, way up in the top.
I don't know, because I obviously commuted back and forth to PA for a very long time from the city, and that was like a 2-hour drive. So 3 hours.
Monique, all right, because if you're down by Philadelphia, you have the Garden State, and you not the Garden State, you have the Turnpike, and it's not that long a drive.
That's right. So it's got to be.
Is this a weekly thing or a daily thing? Because
I don't know. how often he's in. But the whole
It's gotta
point
be like a once a week thing. It has to be.
well, the whole point of that story was the fact that he was staying with Nowicki at his apartment, I guess in Brooklyn, because I guess he kind of just couch surfs when he needs to come into the city and stays with like various and sundry people from the show. So that's how he kind of gets around the true commute thing. But he doesn't shower. He doesn't want to bother anybody for an extra towel. So he just doesn't shower when they're at. You know, I'd
Like,
rather.
and the thought of bringing a towel is too fucking abstract for him.
I would rather him shower and go to bed soaking wet than filth my sheets up with his funk.
You don't wash those sheets. You go out to the garbage can out back. You light them on fire.
Yeah, you burn them.
You just burn them right there. Fuck it. You just
I
light
feel
on
like
fire.
you don't even put some sheets onto the. I think you just put like a plastic shower curtain, like a shower curtain liner, and just let him sleep on that. Like I would never even invite him to my home. Honestly, I think that's the most vile, disgusting thing in the whole of the world. He's just, yeah.
And then this is also where they acknowledge that Nowicki is single.
Yes, they did. That Nowicki is a bachelor, and we all know the classic story about Steve Nowicki getting married, and he had his wedding at a place that was hot as balls, and the only food for dinner was from a Shake Shack truck that was parked outside, and everybody was fucking miserable because it was like 11:30 before they even ate a hamburger, and that was at best.
Who could have thought this wouldn't have worked out?
Yeah, who could have thought it was a terrible, terrible idea? But whatever. I know you always think it's a bit, but I think Richard really is a disgusting, vile human.
Well, that goes without saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is.
It can be true,
I've seen him in person. He's nasty.
I mean, he looks like a boiled ham.
He does. He is. He's as red as a ham. And they were saying that he's like on high blood pressure medication or something, and he really shouldn't be like drinking as excessively as he does. But he was also talking about how they went out last night for drinks. They went to 3 different bars, and then they went to like some after thing and whatever. And he was like, I probably had like 6 or 7 drinks or something like that. And it's like, who drinks that much on a work day?
Alcoholics.
Yeah. When you have
Wait,
to be at 6 in the morning.
And here's the here's the thing though, because Howard said that the meeting started at they had an hour meeting, which I
don't
doubt. I doubt he's there for it, but even so, that means Richard would have to be to that studio before 6 a.m., like 5:45. So you go out drinking like a friggin' fish, and then you're gonna wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning so you go to work. I mean,
Right, and he was staying in Brooklyn, so that's still a half-hour commute at very least.
exactly. So
You know?
like 4:30 in the morning to get there. I mean, that's insane. That's
know.
not even that's crazy.
And once again, what are they having a meeting over?
They can play
are they
guitar.
holding on to everything that they've been planning for the last 10 years for the next couple of months, bro? It's like, I mean, there's no actual proof that they actually have a creative thought process, all of them put together.
I love this, Rick. As a matter of fact, I'm clipping it right this second because I just kind of dig that. I'll look at it again, like,
I mean, on regular programs, where it's sports talk radio, where it's a reality show, you have segment producers that have to produce something almost every single day. They have to come up with interviews. They have to schedule like freaking like bits. I mean, they have to do all. And these guys have meetings, but where's the?
You know what they do?
Seriously,
Xavier, what they discuss what they do in the meetings. They play musical instruments. I shit you not. That is literally what
they do. Impersonations.
Okay, I 100% would believe that, because as far as like producing something that's actually entertaining, or at least an attempt at entertainment, there's nothing. And we've covered every single show now for what, almost 10 years now. And it's like, even before I mean, I've been doing it for a couple of years. These guys have been doing it for longer than that, and there's no proof that they actually think of entertaining anybody.
Michael Brummer is asking, is Richard divorced already? No, he found the perfect psychopath to be with him.
She's
Christy is insane.
Yeah, but isn't that just typical Philly broad?
Yeah, I mean, but she's batshit crazy. I mean,
isn't that Philly broad?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
Christy.
Christy. I mean, get video of her screaming at the TV set like a psycho.
I can't believe they have 2 children. It's just.
Oh my God! Please.
Well, come on. Even cockroaches reproduce, bro.
You know what? What? Go ahead.
They should call CPS on those kids.
Now, you know what's gonna be funny? I bet you watch those kids actually become like doctors.
They're gonna be like, exactly.
Yeah.
totally never talk to their parents ever again.
Double doctorate majors in Harvard and shit. Nature can be weird that way.
Does Christy work?
I have no idea.
No.
I mean, I can't imagine.
Was Christy a fan? Wasn't Christy like
Christy was a fan
before she met Richard?
Isn't that the case for everyone? Even Beth. Beth pretended she didn't know, but turned out she fucking like she. Oh, my brothers are fans. Like, yeah, she knew all about it. They're all freaking.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, the worst one is, it's Richard Christy married a fan, and so did Fred,
and Ronnie too,
and Ronnie, yeah.
I mean, come on, and Fred
and JD.
They all
did,
JD
bro. Married a fan too.
In fact, I think John Hine is the only one that didn't.
Oh, the John Hine and I just had it in my head.
Weird.
Gary didn't marry a fan.
I don't know. Where do you meet Mary? I don't know that.
Nah, Mary. This was
he met
Mary before.
You know what? That one is on the bubble. It could go either way because Gary was already on the Sterniverse when they met. So who knows?
Christy was an intern. That's right.
There we go.
But
their house is filthy. So those 2 kids are probably the 2 kids in school that probably get the lice check, and they have lice.
You're so right. You're so right.
No. I disagree because lice have standards.
Sal didn't marry a fan. Sal
did not marry a fan. Yeah, that's exactly right. Sal did not marry.
Okay, okay, that's valid. Absolutely.
But I don't know about Jason. I don't know about.
Definitely a fan. You look at her and look at him. No, she's way out of his league.
I don't know. So we're just speculating. We have no thoughts about Richard Christy. I think he is absolutely still married. The one that's probably on the fence is probably Jason, because we don't know what's going on.
Because he married way above his weight.
Yes, and
she's hard to do.
I'm trying to think of like the scale there. Like was that gross tonnage?
Isn't
what are we talking about here?
Isn't she a trained classical cellist or some shit like that?
Yeah, she is. She actually is a real musician.
Sophisticated.
Yeah. It's
actually not bad. And she's not bad looking. She's actually pretty good. Way above him, though. I mean, way above him.
Jason Kaplan.
I mean, he's like a 4. So
she looks like one of those fat chicks that hung out in front with Jay and Silent Bob and Clerks.
She's actually way too attractive for him. So hang on.
Exactly. I mean, even if she's like a 7 or an 8, I mean, that's like way out of his league.
Bro, I mean, honestly, it's like even like those conjoined twins chicks.
Yeah, she's way out of his league.
Would be out of.
Oof! Holy Christ!
Oh my God!
She's actually really attractive.
Yeah, it looks like what. You know what it looks like? It looks like when I get those Instagram pictures of chicks with their Malamutes. You know. That's kind of what it looks like, dude. He looks like Chewbacca if Chewbacca was going bald.
Yeah. So yeah.
Way above his weight.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see what people are saying. I think Jason Kaplan is getting divorced based on.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Did anybody hear? Yes. We've always talked about this. We're kind of over that. All right, let's look.
Tata Toothy. It looks like he's kidnapped.
It looks like one of the stories that we did on Gunk in the Night. You can just imagine Jason listening to Bjork doing paintings.
Bjork.
Okay, so this was a new one for me. I had not heard this before, and Howard seems to be in a phase of just giving us all sorts of different bullshit that goes on in his life. So, did anybody know about a show that he had contracted to do with some dude called the Porcelain Palace show?
That would be a definite no.
No. No, we've never.
Pretty definite no.
We've never heard of this until today. So let's look at. I love Bjork too. Let's look at.
You got to be careful, Mr. Dangles. You're already on the bubble, bro. As far as
really
potential serial killers.
Dangles on the bubble.
Yeah.
Bjork is just one of those boxes you check off.
Exactly.
What? Since when?
Bjork is a gateway drug.
Oh, you clearly are familiar with our Gunk in the Night Bjork episode.
Yeah, no, I know that guy, yeah, but I didn't know that she was the standard of psychos.
Well,
yes.
Yes, well.
She carries the
heard,
crazy.
You've heard the music, right? So I mean,
yeah, she's got a couple good songs.
I like Bjork.
You ever come close to a human?
See?
Human behavior.
Okay, let's move on to the Porcelain Palace show. So let's hear this bullshit story. Here we go.
And then I went out, I met this guy, and this dude signed me to a TV contract. And I didn't even tell my agent. I just signed it because I was like, I know if I get on TV, I'll be good at it. I know I can do this. And so this guy, I told the guy my concept that we were going to do a TV show.
Listen to this brilliant concept because, he's full of them.
Where anyone I interview will be in a toilet bowl. Like it'll be live from the Porcelain Palace. The whole set will be a bathroom, and the guests will sit on toilets.
All right, so the true giveaway when it's a lie, there's no proper names, there's no times, there's no dates, there's really nothing of any value in the story that you can pinpoint anything of solid, anything that's solid. It's an absolute lie. We have heard about this years and years ago. We didn't.
You think about it, it goes like in two diametrically opposed ways. Like if he's lying about something in his personal life, there's zero details about it whatsoever. Right. When he talks to you about porn, it is so full of detail, like he's watching a major motion picture when he's watching porn, which in anybody else's reality would be 5 minutes without any fucking dialogue.
And so then I always pointed out that that's just him trying to cover because nobody remembers any lines from a porn. The people in porn don't remember the lines that they had in the porn. No one remembers the lines. This is insane.
Well, to me, this is obviously someone, has been watching the Hot Ones YouTube thing. And they say, hey, what if Howard did something like that, but they were on the toilet? That's all this is.
It's just weird. I don't know.
It's all this is, bro.
So the thumbnail I did for today, vis-a-vis Grok, it was him interviewing Dolly Parton on toilets, which I thought was pretty fantastic. So then they kind of move on. He's talking about his early days in radio. He always bemoans how horrible it was for him and how poor he was and how he didn't make any money and and then
in the first year.
Yeah, the thing for 2025 is the fact that everybody knocked him off. Everybody knocked him off. Not that he
ripped them off.
Yeah, but so here's a little bit of that.
True. And that's how I was with this TV show. I was like, damn, I'm on local fucking radio. I'm huge in terms of audience share on the radio, but nobody knows who I am outside of New York and New Jersey and Connecticut. And people are ripping me off. Who did I get? Did you see this letter, Gary, I got from somebody?
Yes. Nowicki knows about that.
Yeah, it's
Nowicki got, well, don't say who it is yet. I want to make sure, but.
It's weird that they've mentioned twice in the last couple of days about how something is in the fan feedback. Why are these things part of the fan feedback? Is it that they have a letter that relates to something and then he has a clip that relates to that letter or the bullshit? I'm not even understanding.
So said employee sits there and writes something and then figures they have something to go with something so then they can get more of their something on the air. Hence, that's their fan feedback.
Sure.
There was a guy who just wrote me a letter. He says years ago.
Wrote him a letter.
A letter. Letter.
Did he say, Steve, that he was a fan of mine, but he was on the radio. He was working at another station. and they played him a tape of me, and I was doing this bit called God Weather
Oh, no,
Forecast.
I'm sorry. That's not Noiki. That's Bob Rivers, who we did the obit of.
By the way, as everybody mentioned in the listening thread today, that guy's voice will
Derek.
for anybody's sphincter. Like it's just
High pitch Eric.
horrible to hear.
From Rant
Oh,
Newsletter.
that's what
So
it was.
Bob Rivers wrote a blog that we found about you after he died when they were putting the fan feedback together.
Well, stop right there. So listen to the way they put that together. We found the blog by this guy, and then we included it when we were putting the fan feedback together.
Yes.
This had nothing to do with the show.
No.
It was something on the interwebs.
That's right.
And literally, it's fan feedback.
Yeah, because he didn't write a letter, but let's throw
He
it in.
wrote a letter. Yeah.
First job in Worcester, Massachusetts. And there was a radio consultant that sat him down and played a tape of you doing God's weather. And he's like, hey, this is really funny. You're local. You're in a completely different area of the country than Howard is. If you like this bit, you should do it. So Bob Rivers' first thing that he did that got him kind of put on the map and really started his career was doing God's weather.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so God's Weather was stolen from Steve Dahl. I mean, that was stolen from Steve Dahl. Seriously, Howard copied that from someone else.
And
Yeah.
I can confirm because Bob Rivers was up here in Seattle. Bob Rivers did do God's Weather up here, and that was in the 90s. So
90s, right?
he was still doing that bit. Yeah, he was still doing that bit up here.
Yeah. So who was the originator of God's Weather? Was it Steve Dahl?
I believe so.
Let's see.
Because
Steve.
Stern stole it. I mean, because he absolutely 100% stole it. Just like the Vietnam stories he stole from the Grease Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mama Lakabuba Day, he stole that. That was Steve Dahl.
Yeah, that's not exactly something I can easily look up. So
Yeah.
sorry. But you guys, you people in Chicago, you tell us, was Steve Dahl?
Ida. There it is. Ida right there. She's
Ida,
always,
yeah.
he stole it from a lot from Steve Dahl.
We know.
We know.
He had an assistant named Marcus, who's an overweight black guy who had some sort of breathing attack on live radio, and they had to call an emergency squad to revive him. Oh, I would pay for radio like that.
Jesus. Looks like Marcus isn't doing so good.
In a way, you did Mo with Jared. So
Yeah, I mean, but they didn't tell Marcus to take the thing out of his nose.
yeah.
Stern did God's Weather in D.C. in 1982, but that doesn't mean that he didn't steal it from somewhere else.
Yeah, because he stole a lot of stuff from when he was in Detroit, and then he brought it all to.
The funny thing is like them talking about other people coming to them to listen to like clips from other people's radio. Don't you think that they did that to Howard as well, you stupid fucks? Like that's just what they did. This is how they rolled. Here's Robin talking about it.
One of the program directors at NBC brought me into a room one day and he said, I want to play you something. And he played me a tape and it sounded like you and me. But I had never, we had never had this conversation.
Right.
And I was like, what is that? He said, they're hiring people who sound like you.
That was Robin trying to be relevant to the conversation.
Yes.
I've never heard that before.
And the funny thing is on WNBC, Robin literally did the news. He would engage her in conversation maybe like 3 minutes during the show, but it was Jackie, it was that other guy, it was Fred, it was other people. It wasn't Robin. Robin was the news and weather chick.
You would talk to her during the news,
Yes.
just briefly, because she had to get through the news stories, because it was at WNBC's format was very structured, and they had to get the news stories in. And it's just, it's just amazing though. Like she can't. There's no name. There weren't not that many program directors over at WNBC. There were not many people.
That's right.
And it did not
I
name
just
a
find it
proper name.
fascinating that if it was happening to them where people would say they're knocking you off, don't you think that other people were coming to them with other people's radio and saying, listen to this? That's just the way shit worked before social media and the internet. That's what you did. Oh, look at Ida coming with all the Steve Dahl info. At the moment, I think Steve has some health problems. He lost a lot of weight, looks terrific. I have a feeling he might not be drinking. Not sure about that. Also, Steve Dahl had a wife named Janet from another planet. She was an attorney by trade, very sharp, very smart. All right, cool. Yeah, I would love to interview Steve Dahl.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
that
would be
I should reach
phenomenal.
out. Okay, so yeah, talking about the 3-hour commute, let's talk about that for a real quick second because it came back to this. Here we go.
Still made it to work.
Richard, yeah, by the way, Richard crashes at random people's homes one night a week because he lives so far from the office. During COVID, Richard got the brilliant idea to move to he's like almost in another country.
He's almost in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he's almost in Pennsylvania. Yeah, I think so.
So is he almost in Pennsylvania, which would make him in New Jersey, or I don't understand that. Upstate New York, bordering on Pennsylvania? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, technically, yes. And I said to him, what are you thinking? I mean, at one point, COVID's going to be over and you got to come into the office. I don't care. It's much cheaper out here. I go, it's cheaper because it's nowhere near where you work.
Hey, I make it in. I make it here.
Howard, it's a dead heat, I think, between Richard and Mehmet, who lives the furthest away. But I know it takes Mehmet about a hair over 3 hours.
It's 3 hours door to door for both of us. We've raced like each other to see who gets home first.
That's insane.
All right. So what I love is the billionaire host who's doing the show from his basement, talking about how these guys need to go to the office.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, you literally had some yogurt and you walked down a flight of stairs and you're there. And then of course his co-host who's in some sort of facility and just rolls out of bed and has the curtain and does the thing. The only one that comes in because he wants to get away from his wife is Fred. He came in before they were even told to come in. Hell,
Fred
he was there when they were still locked down.
I know, but Fred still also has a city place, so I think it's just slightly.
No, I think he needs to be away.
Yes, thank you, Benjamin. I think one of Kanye's kids is named Paraquat. You're running with the Paraquat, which I love. Okay, so they go back to Cheech and Chong, and by the way, they toggled back and forth with Cheech and Chong all morning long,
for an hour, 1 hour at least.
Right, at least an hour.
Yeah.
So
easy.
But what they were doing is they wanted JD to ask questions while JD was high because this is new and different for Cheech and Chong. They never heard of a bit like this.
No, they've never seen.
No.
They've never seen a high person talk to them.
Oh no, something really new and different. And they were going to have horrible. And I didn't even record it because it was so bad. But Steve Nowicki and Richard was playing like bongos, and Steve Nowicki is playing his horrific Just Van Halen type of guitar playing.
Yeah, he's a terrible guitarist. I never realized how bad he was until I heard this.
It was kind of bad. It was really bad. I didn't play it, but it was stupid. What was the song that they were doing? It was.
I don't even know.
Earache my eye.
What was it?
Earache my eye.
Earache my eye.
Yes.
Okay, which is a Cheech and Chong song, right?
Yeah, they played it in Up in Smoke.
Well, if we're gonna do this, I have a visual
for
the bit. It's for the segment.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. Wait. All right. There we go. So we have to have the visual.
Sure. So here's the skit. So they made it into a skit, which was really kind of weird. Hang on.
I'm curious.
This is blunt. This is Blunt Questions with JD Harmeyer. I'm your host, JD Harmeyer. Today.
Wait a second. Cheech and Chong to be sitting there listening to this? What are you guys doing on that wrap-up show? I might have to tune into this.
That was the
But dude, I mean,
horrible. This is what 70 people think of.
those guys are coming in. They're interesting guys. You're going to listen to this intro, and why doesn't you just have JD ask the question?
Ask the question, yeah.
Cut right to it.
He wanted to ask you hi.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's a whole intro and there's music. And
It's
you're
a minute.
laughing.
It's a minute long. We got it for
All
an
right.
hour. Most of it's going to be a conversation with Cheech
All
and
right.
Chong.
All right, take it
few
easy.
bells and whistles.
You gotta hear him smoking the joint.
Who needs the bells and whistles? Like, seriously, who needs to do set produced Q&As?
And this is, this goes back to the other day when Gary said, which was from Howard, we're like SNL. So they think that they have to do like TV where you do like skits, or it's a skit driven thing. And it's like, I don't think Andy Cohen did a thing where he had one of his people on his staff get high and ask questions. I just have a feeling that didn't happen during his show.
I could almost think that it didn't happen for most of their interviews, but this one they put it to music. It's a whole
I mean, the producer in me says, let's get to the chorus. Don't bore us. Get to the chorus. All right. Yeah,
we'll cut it down. Bring him in high. Yeah.
Come on,
well,
JD.
we couldn't do, believe me. There's no
let me
bringing him in
ask.
high.
Let me listen to this. Hold on. Oh my God, this is one
horrible. I mean, just
Azor's coming with the truth bomb. That pic looked like Mr. Potato Head melting under a heat lamp.
It's horrible, and we will never forget that picture, JD. It's just
it's
just perfection. It's perfection. All right, so let's move on a little bit. Hold on, I have my screen is really, really big, and I need to
brag.
Shut up. I just need to scooch it over a little bit. Okay. So then he's talking about, and I don't even know how he got here, but he's thinking that he wants to do a radio program on 101, a music program on 101. And, we can all guess where this comes from. I'll play the clip and then we'll look at it. Here we go.
It's just impossible. Yeah, one night I had a party at my house. You guys remember this? For those of you who are fans of the channel, I said to everybody, "Hey, let's go down to my basement. I can go right on the air with you guys, and we'll do a music show." It was a good crowd of like pretty prominent people, and my concept was good. Like, let's hear what songs they pick.
A good crowd of pretty prominent people.
If they're just randomly on the radio, and there'll be no pressure on them because they don't have to talk. They're not being interviewed. And 3 seconds in, I'm like goofing on their choices or commenting and talking over the records. It was a disaster. I cannot sit through the music.
Why don't you know this about yourself? Why do you keep having this fantasy that you want to do?
I'm going to try it.
Music show.
You know what I'm going to do? One night I'm going to break in on Howard 100.
Oh, just
break in. Yeah, okay.
101. That's more experimental channel.
That's right.
And
whoa, stop there. 101 is an experimental channel. That is the wasteland of podcasting.
Absolute. A cesspool of shit. And by the way, it may have been experimental for about 5 minutes the first year you went on air, but that's it.
And then Pharrell left.
Yeah, I mean, and then the other part of that was we played records or their records and it's like, first of all, they were a bunch of washed up. They are a bunch of washed up actors and music people that had horrible taste in music. Horrible taste in music. And the other thing is, you could do this at any time. Literally, you don't have to. You could literally have a weekly music show on 101 every week if you like.
One of those days, it could even be at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. One of those days where you just finish eating your stupid salad and some almonds and there's nothing on TV that you really want to watch and you finish playing guitar. All you got to do is roll your fucking skinny ass downstairs and play some music. But you can't do that because you can't be ad hoc. You can't just do things that are off the cuff. You just can't.
And do you really want to hear more Beatles and Led Zeppelin played to death?
I love the fact that the guy who spent the better part of a decade talking about Dawson Creek and freaking like all these fucking boy bands is criticizing other people's choice and fucking whatever.
I think that's where we stick Gary and John with their wrap-up show. I'll go on there maybe and just break in, no pre-announcement, and I'll try and do a music show, like a straight-ass music show.
Don't bother. Honestly, don't bother.
Wait a minute.
You know who does? You know who does a straight music show? Who does that?
Her.
Oh, this chick.
That chick.
Oh, so she does a music show. She does a music, 2 new Sirius XM channels with live show featuring Alex Cooper's signature mix of bold conversation, relatable storytelling, and trend-defining music picks. Yeah, nobody needs to hear Led Zeppelin again. You're absolutely right. So she has 2 channels.
Yes, and
Yeah,
here's
but
the
nobody wants to hear the crap she's playing though either.
no, it's going to be shit too.
But for her crew, her people, it's valid.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, you know, that the other thing is Howard, all of us pop on there. No one will hear it. I mean, that's the most embarrassing part about it. If you don't promote something, no one's going to tune in.
Yeah, and
no
what's worse, the only one promoting it is fucking Marianne from Brooklyn, and nobody gives a shit about her either. So it's a dead take. It's a dead take. But this is why he's talking about it, because Alex Cooper has it. And if she can do it, he can do it.
Yeah,
and you
I
just
know.
realize that nobody wants to hear Train or, you know, that other stupid song.
Mountain or what's the other garbage he plays?
Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
Bruce has his own channel. Nobody needs him for that.
Bon Jovi.
Jovi has his own channel half the time.
Oh, what's that? Live from Budapest.
Cheap Trick.
Cheap Trick. No one's here to ever again.
Budokan.
Exactly.
Budokan, whatever. No one needs to hear that ever again.
Nobody. All right, let's move on. What did he say? What was it? I wasn't watching.
Jackie's joke hunt is coming to Alex 102.
Yes, sure it is. Let's see. So Robin was talking about her days at NBC and how amazing it was that, you know, he just talked to her. She wasn't expecting it. And, you know, they just talked to you. I don't know why I cut this. I just thought it was interesting.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I could do it.
I remember starting radio with you, and I was just going to be the news person.
Right.
I had no idea I'd be talking to you.
Right.
And the first day I sit down,
whoa.
And immediately when I walked into the studio, you turned and started talking to me.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you sit there like a schlub.
I was getting ready to do the news. I was going through my copy. I had things I wanted to do. But as soon as you saw me,
I had no idea you had things you wanted to do. I really didn't care.
Exactly.
So Monique, that's at Washington D.C. They work together at Washington D.C. Not WNBC.
Sorry.
Remember, he left her in Washington D.C. to go to NBC, and she was angry.
That's right.
She stomped on his face.
She really was chosen just to do the freaking news.
Oh, absolutely. She had a nice delivery, and she seemed normal.
So they go back to that Casey Musgraves thing, which is just fucking ridiculous. Here's the article about it so that you guys can all be aware of it. Casey Musgraves shocks fans with wildly suggestive tweet. Did you get which accounts? Is it possible to die of horniness? Asking for a friend. So this is her. I mean, she can go either way. She can be really cute when all like fluffed up, and sometimes not so much. So I'm just not really sure which one she really actually is.
Looks good to me.
Yes, of course she does. But she's had everything done, by the way.
So
nose, lips. She's got the 5 head now from all that fucking Botox. But yeah, okay.
But the thing is, this story is staler than the Chinese food you put at the back of the refrigerator and forgot about last month.
And by the way, this is such a non-story. Like, who gives a shit? Honestly,
no one cares.
It's just it's non-tent. But what we're going to do with that information is this.
Hey, JD, we got to save a life. I need to send you over to Casey Musgraves' house so you can fuck her. She's going to die of horniness.
Because in any world, at any time, Casey Musgraves would be interested in a JD. In a disgusting, fleshy monster of a human who probably you could probably like blacklight his fucking sheets. And literally it would look like a murder victim has been in his bed. But meanwhile, it's probably just leftover splooge and him just like wiping his nose and rubbing it on the fucking sheets. And he probably just like eats in bed and the fucking juices from his tzatziki sauce just like drips onto the fucking sheets, and he just wipes his mouth with the fucking sheet. And he doesn't even have a fucking living item in his home other than his fleshy, breathing fucking stomach with his jiggling tits as he lays there eating whatever disgusting, vile takeout shit that he decides to eat that day. And that's the man that you would like to fuck Casey Musgraves. That's the man. That's all I have to say.
I love when
you
you.
sure
I love
about
when you. Yeah, I love when you go on your stream of consciousness rants about Casey.
I mean, because ladies, he is and always will be available.
He will always be available. You know, the fact that Tank she probably has such a existential crisis at this point. Like she probably goes home. Not only does she cry, but she
Oh,
gives
absolutely.
herself like a Karen Silkwood type bath or
I said that.
where she takes like a big fucking giant, very, very hard loofah and just scrubs her vagina of all the fucking nastiness that
Yeah.
was J.D. Harmeyer.
Yeah, she uses steel wool on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, we need to have this in our little repertoire. We need to have the triggered.
Yes, let's add that. I love triggered. I do love that. Oh my God, Instagram.
I'm actually downloading some stuff as we speak.
Instagram deleted us for some reason. I don't know why. That's kind of weird.
It might have been the trigger JD that could have done it.
I think sometimes if we don't have like X amount of listeners listening during the show, they will disconnect you after an hour. But if you have over like a certain amount, they stay. So some of you who tend to listen to us on Instagram, you should continue to do so that we don't get disconnected from there. And then you have to shove your fat face over here. All right, let's move on. I don't even know why I pulled this, but let's talk about this real quick.
Teen was covering it, for God's sakes.
Yeah, that was the public television station. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think I watched Courageous Cat, but what was his deal? Did he have superpowers, Courageous Cat?
No.
No, he was a crime fighter. There was a guy. I just remember there was a guy on there. His nemesis was just a really bad Edward G. Robinson guy. You're like, yeah, listen, see, we're gonna get you, see.
Yeah, and wasn't it Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse?
Yes.
Yeah.
First off, that was a horrible cartoon.
Oh, I liked it. It was so
No.
bad it was good.
There's no way you liked fucking Courageous Cat.
I did. It was so bad it was good.
It was one of those it was one of those cartoons that's kind of equal to, remember the religious one with Davy?
Oh, they used to play that all the time in school.
No fucking on. There was nothing else on.
David and Goliath.
David and Goliath.
And so this is what Courageous Cat is to me at this point. It's not even something that anybody would have ever watched unless you had no choice.
I never watched it. I never watched this one.
I watched it.
It's a horrible, horrible show. Here, I'll give you a little. Hang on. What happened? Oh, come on. I want the video. God damn it.
It's not going to give it to you. It's not going to give it to you. Nope.
This
The middle of some girl's apartment.
This is not great.
That's Animaniac.
God damn it. There we go. Horrible.
It's a great theme song, though.
I see trouble afoot. I bet they're up to something. You can be sure of that. But I guess there's no law against a frog and an ape rowing a boat.
You know, everybody had the Edward G. Robinson type character.
Well, this is like early. This is 1960, so yeah. I mean,
yes.
Well, at least for those somebody. Okay.
Courageous Cat.
What are you looking for?
Ugh, everything about it cringes
Wait,
me.
what are we doing here?
We're watching Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse.
Got it.
Cartoon. Horrible. The worst.
The thing is, I think they threw this in with like Magilla Gorilla.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, they threw it in there. I liked Magilla Gorilla. That was fun.
How much is that gorilla in the window? Yes. I remember that. And I hated that show too. There was a certain grouping of cartoons that were all kind of shitty. Yeah. They were all shitty. That whole crew.
They were entertainment. I wasn't going to sit there and grade them on their quality.
They were non-Bugs Bunny.
They were not Looney Tunes. I understand. Looney Tunes was a whole nother level. Yeah, that was a level.
Scooby-Doo, maybe even Pussycats, maybe. I don't even know, but not this. Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse can go fuck themselves.
Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry were
love Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry. Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse are like the ghetto version of Tom and Jerry.
Yes.
Come on. Even the way they're drawn is a piece of shit. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. I hate everything about it.
What was that? I think Minute Mouse had some kind of superpower.
No, they had no fucking superpowers, you idiot.
Fred, there it is. And they had a car.
Ooh, Fred, you're so good. What took me actually 22 seconds to fucking find, you actually did like 10 minutes into the fucking conversation. You're so good.
They drive around. Courageous Cat.
Well, you had to stop ordering stuff on Amazon.
Assholes. Hate them. I hate everything about Courageous Cat and fucking Minute Mouse. I don't care what you say. Xavier, do you have anything to say on this? You cartoon freak?
It's too much.
Yeah, that's what we get.
I know. Hey, wait, what about Magilla Gorilla?
No, stop. You know what? Just go back to whatever.
I'm doing stuff. Okay.
He's doing stuff.
What are you doing?
Stuff.
He's forming the band Paraquat.
Yes, I am. Absolutely. You know what? I got my Mexican band getting ready to perform.
In your sleeping slumber hat or whatever it's called.
Fiesta hat. The urban sombrero.
Okay, so at some point Robin decides she's going to start talking about the Pope, and he completely ignores her and takes a call from Marianne. And I just thought that was really fucking funny. By the way, the second call from Marianne, I don't even know.
2 Marianne calls in one day is that's cruel. That's cruel and unusual punishment.
Okay, see, same. Rocky and Bullwinkle, I didn't really like. I mean,
that was phenomenal.
You don't like Rocky and Bullwinkle?
What is wrong with you? You are a 71. You're a 71.
I didn't like the voices. I just thought they were really, really annoying. Sorry.
Wow.
Yes, Flintstones. Yes, Jetsons. Not a big Bullwinkle fan. I don't even remember watching it more than like maybe once or twice.
Oh my God. Get the moose in the squirrel.
Yes.
Oh, I hated that. See, I hated the foreign accents. They really annoyed me. Is that like Natasha? Was Natasha on that?
Natasha, yeah.
Boris and Natasha.
Boris, yeah. See, I didn't like them either. They kind of reminded me of the Addams Family a little bit, maybe.
It was okay, dude. I mean, come on.
I'm just telling you.
Rocky and Bullwinkle was okay.
It was okay.
Come on.
It was just okay.
You just gotta get all like, angry.
What?
I mean, Jesus.
It's like all of a sudden, like you mentioned something to Mo, and then all of a sudden.
Slowly I turned, and step by step, inch by inch,
Did you like Penelope Pitstop and Tom Slick? Those ones.
The
Penelope Pitstop.
Tom Slick. Oh wow.
I don't even know what that is.
That's like George of the Jungle type of stuff.
And where was Penelope Pitstop from? I remember her.
That was it the
Wacky Races. That was Wacky Races.
Yes, I hated all those cartoons. Now
Muttley, come on.
Muttley, Snidely,
Dastardly.
Oh yeah, Dastardly, whatever. Yeah.
Dirk Dastardly and Muttley.
Dirk Dastardly. Right. Yeah, all of those. Minute Mouse.
Yeah.
All of that shit. Just annoy. Stop it.
slowly I turned, and step by step, inch by inch,
You assholes. When I go away this year, this is all you're gonna do. You're gonna play stupid fucking Larry and Mo and triggered clips, you idiots.
I'm gonna call a couple of hard pipe hitting niggas to go to work on the homes here with a pair of pliers and a blowtorch.
Jesus Christ. God, I hate all of you.
Okay, Genius, don't move. The bishop.
You too, Al. You too. Al.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm watching Bullwinkle the second movie.
Like, you know, they weren't fantastic cartoons, but they were, you know, they're passable for like Saturday morning.
Yeah, I know.
They're entertaining.
That's the problem. That's the
Boris and
problem.
Natasha, bro. That was
Looney Tunes set the standard, right? They were the gold standard for cartoons.
yeah, well, and Tex Avery. Tex Avery was pretty awesome.
Oh, I love Tex Avery. Oh my God, the Wolf. All the Wolf cartoons were the best.
Yes.
Tex.
And, you know, that's a
so good.
Doghouse.
And then Droopy Dog.
You know what?
Because Tex Avery was, you know, he was really pushing the limits on cartoons. He
they would
did
do the
things
House
that
of
were-
Tomorrow and the
Yeah, I wish I could
Tomorrow.
play it. I don't want to get in trouble, but
yeah,
I
you'd get in trouble with these.
Yeah, the Tex
Yeah.
Avery's, I would definitely.
Johnny Quest. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
That's a
never
good-
saw that in my life.
I didn't.
Wait,
that was
wait,
one I
you
wasn't
know,
a
we
big fan
reference
of.
Haji like a million times a week.
Yeah, I know that we reference Haji all the time, but I never watched the cartoon.
You know what though? If you ask
Boy
me,
cartoon. That's a boy cartoon. That's a boy cartoon.
It's a bar. Yes, yes,
Johnny Quest's dad and Race Baron, there was something going on there, bro.
absolutely.
With who?
Johnny
You know,
Quest's
like,
dad and Race Baron.
The dude with the white hair.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me take a look. See there. Let me see what's
Playing
going
candy
on.
balls.
Were they playing dandy balls?
They're playing dandy balls.
Legs are spread and peanut butter.
Akimbo. His legs were akimbo.
Johnny Quest. Oh, these dudes. Let me see.
It's
Hang on.
two adults, quote unquote.
It was like what Hanna-Barbera, right? I think.
Yeah, that was Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
These guys.
Yes.
Yes.
those guys.
They-
The guy got the white hair, the guy with the beard.
Oh, they would definitely.
There's
playing with the poop shots.
There's not a broad in
there, bro.
sight.
The poop and shooting for sure.
Yeah.
There's not a broad in sight. Nope.
No, you're right.
Exactly. Even Bandit was walking around with his butthole tight, you know?
He always had his tail down.
Yeah. You're like,
And what nationality is this dude?
Which one?
which one?
This one with the white hair.
They're both
Just-
the two dudes in front were just white dudes. Then you
The
had the guy from
tan.
India.
He's not that he's not that white. This dude. I bet you.
Oh, I
he
don't know,
is-
dude. He kind
You know what? He's actually Sicilian. They just don't want to say it.
Look at the name, Dr. Bent Down Quest. Bent Down.
It's more of a butt quest, if you ask me.
Bent Down Quest and Race Bannon, and then Johnny Quest, Haji, and Bandit. Yes, of course. So okay, we're gonna move on. I don't.
We'll move on.
I mean, I can talk about cartoons all day. I love fucking cartoons. Just certain.
Obviously not. Because
Well, certain ones, but not really.
You don't like Rocky and Bullwinkle.
All right, let's move on. So here's Howard talking about Rob blowing off Robin. Here we go. Sorry.
Everybody should do.
Right.
He gets huge accolades for it.
Yes,
He
Marianne.
went to visit a friend.
Anne-Marie gets it. She understands Marianne's language. Anne-Marie gets me, Dr. Now, you. She gets the whole thing going on, Howard.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Wow. I mean, he just totally, just like, there was a sound?
Summarily dismissed her. That's all. Moose and Squirrel. Who's that?
That is Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Rocky and Bullwinkle. That's what Boris and Natasha called them.
Yeah, no, thank
The moose and the squirrel.
Moose and Squirrel.
Yeah, I don't like that. Okay. Okay. I like this one. Here we go.
I've got no. I've got. Oh, please! You don't know my life. You think you have
we don't
problems?
know your life.
All you have is cancer. I mean,
All you have is cancer, not had.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, well,
that is really a dicky thing to say, bro.
It is. Just, he did it twice. That's the best part. He did it twice.
all you have is cancer. I mean, that's easy compared to what's going on over here. I'm telling you, Robin. I mean,
Damn, dude.
too much.
Can we
Why don't you like the? I even said to my mother,
problems with communication.
I even suggested to my mother, going, Mom, you have 24 hours somebody with you. It's a very expensive problem. Maybe there's a couple hours a day, which I know she could do. Maybe a couple hours a day you could be on your own.
She's almost 100 for fuck's sake. Like,
by the way, can we put like a special note on today's show so like in a couple of months when Robin dies, we can reference what he said?
that she has cancer or that she had
Well,
cancer?
I said it.
I heard
It's an FU attitude when he said
Yeah, the FU that all you have is cancer.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
cancer.
the thing is, this is for the last, I don't know how many years I've been saying, like, she never got rid of it. She's never gotten better because she let it go so long that there's no good outcome. When you have grapefruit taken out of you, that's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's her own fault too. That's the worst part. It's her own fault.
Yeah. She's the Steve Jobs of the Stern Show. I mean, she just, she just tried everything other than proper medical
medicine. But Steve Jobs wasn't writing books and pushing freaking voodoo shit on other people.
Oh,
that is true.
That is true.
There is no Dr. Ronnie for Steve Jobs.
Exactly.
Speaking of Dr. Ronnie, let's go to Ronnie because, of course, we had the whole thing about Flat Earth yesterday. But see, Jonathan Blitt is such a douchebag, and I just don't understand his personality or who he's supposed to be in this show. And apparently, what he wants to do is put Ronnie into a Shark Tank. I did a little research on this as well, so let's listen to the clip, and then we'll.
Are you going next year?
And buy tickets for this thing and get it all set up.
I'm going to get it all set up, 100%. And Stephanie is excited about it. She thinks it's going to be fantastic.
What are you bringing her into it for?
I spoke to her and I asked her. I wanted to get her blessing.
Be speaking to her.
Well, you were
What did
there
you
when I
say
was
to her?
talking to her.
Well, you still shouldn't be speaking to her.
What did you say to her?
I said, "Can I get your blessing? Is it okay if Ronnie and I go swimming with sharks?" And she was very enthusiastic about us going.
Yeah, probably because she wants me to drop dead or something.
No. I think she wants you to just have a greater zest for life. And I think being in that cage with you with the sharks will give her.
All right. Well, let's see what happens.
So
can you imagine that? Like, remember that scene in Jaws where they're doing the autopsy on the shark and they're pulling out license plates? Can you imagine they're doing that and they pull out Ronnie's freaking
glasses,
mangled beef jerky like carcass out of there?
Cock. So it goes on to say that they're going to go down to the island of Guadalupe to do that.
Yeah. That's where the big sharks are.
Yes. So that's where he wants to go great white shark diving in Guadalupe Island. It's basically $4,000 to do this.
$4,000?
Yeah. Well,
dude,
it's a whole trip.
It was like $75 when I did it.
It's not like in South Africa where you just go to a place and go drop into the fucking water. It's like a whole thing because you have to get to Guadalupe Island. You have to stay there, whatever. And and then they do the great whites with you. It may be mentioned in the next clip because that's another thing they want to do, which is kind of fucking ridiculous. And I hate Blitt more than life itself. And I really wish I could articulate to all of you how much I hate fucking Jonathan Blitt, almost as much as I hate JD. And I plan on some point to get into like a phase where I get off of JD and I go into Blitt because I fucking hate him more.
Slowly I turned, and step by step, inch by inch,
I hate you both so much. I just want you to know that. I really do. I hate you both. Just so you know. Okay, so let's listen to the next clip. And this is something else that he wants to do, but he's trying to trigger Ronnie because he knows that you'll hear.
Okay.
I'm gonna make that happen though.
Yeah, you're not making anything happen.
Also, you want to hear something? So JD really wants to see the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere.
So it's such a weird thing, this whole Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. Wizard of.
Are they going to set it to Pink Floyd? I mean, that would be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So this was announced earlier this month. Sphere announces 2 new experiences in production. The Wizard of Oz at Sphere in collaboration with Warner Brothers, Discovery, Google, some other fucking shit. Sphere Entertainment announced today 2 new projects. Wizard of Oz. Original 1939 film will be presented as a fully immersive experience in collaboration with Warner Brothers. I'm sure that's pretty fucking fantastical. Oh, I'm sorry. Would help if I had it on the
Yeah, I
screen.
don't see anything.
Yeah,
What's
sorry.
What's the other movie?
It's something called From the Edge. Let's take a look at what that is. Directed by Academy Award winner E. Chai and Jimmy Chin, From the Edge will feature premier athletes, free diver, skier, rock climber, base jumper, and surfer. Take audiences inside the world of extreme sports.
Boring. Yeah, I like my idea of taking Wizard of Oz and setting it to Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah, that would be much cooler.
Be pretty fucking spectacular. All right, so let's continue.
Have you guys ever done that? It only syncs up like 4 or 5 times.
What?
Yeah, and some of them are pretty like you're kind of stretching it.
It's a stretch, but the beginning is pretty strong. It's pretty strong.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah.
All right, hang on. Let me finish the clip.
To see the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. Stephanie also wants to see the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere.
Honestly, with all due respect, how the fuck does Stephanie even know that the Wizard of Oz is going to be at the Sphere? It's not even, and I'm on the Sphere list for things that are coming up and whatever, get tickets, whatever. I didn't even know about this until Blit mentioned it, but I'm sure Stephanie.
Oh, absolutely. She's
in
touch with everything.
Super aware of what's going on.
Ronnie does not want to go. I've offered to fly JD to Las Vegas so he could take Stephanie to see Wizard of Oz at the Sphere on one condition. That JD and Stephanie share a hotel room together.
Oh,
Ronnie,
What the fuck is it?
I
See
think
what
that's
I
a good
mean? This
idea.
is what I listen to. I don't care. He could take it to the fucking. JD could take it to see
She
whatever it
lives
is.
in Vegas. She doesn't need a hotel room.
but JD does, and I think for them to have the full experience of Wizard of Oz, they need to share a 5-star hotel room.
5-star hotel room. I'm gonna fly JD out there. I'm gonna get him tickets. In what world is Blit spending useless money to buy his way into bits on the Stern Show? It's actually quite pathetic, Jonathan Blit. It's pathetic.
Obviously, he's playing with someone else's money. It's very obvious he's playing with someone else's money.
Right. As we learned from Met, that they paid for the whole France trip and all that bullshit. For what? For 10 minutes of clips? I mean, it's
They
just
weren't very good.
Oh, it's horrible. It's really just horrible. It's a shame on them. Shame on them for indulging this fucking moron, who, by the way, will be the only one who still has a job at Sirius when everybody else is gone. Let's not forget that he said
They
that.
need a new janitor. It'll be fine.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see.
By the way, I remember back in the late 90s, they did a re-release of the Wizard of Oz. And everybody was pissed because the movie is shot in 4:3 aspect ratio. So they expected this gigantic, grandiose presentation, and it's just like this little image on this gigantic screen.
Oh, really?
And that was like in the 90s. I can't imagine with the 16K capabilities of the Sphere that they're gonna be able to stretch that fucker across that.
It's not. It can't.
It's a 400. I mean, I don't know how they're going to. I mean, maybe the technology's improved with.
Well, don't forget with AI, you can really extrapolate out from any of those scenes and make it more fantastical.
For what they charge, they better do something like more than what they did last time.
Exactly. It has to be fucking spectacular. But whatever. All right. So let's.
You should bring Judy Garland's dead body and just leave it in the front while you're watching.
What's wrong with you? All right. So let's do the end of the show and we'll get to other stuff. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, wait.
Thank you for that, Chris.
Yes.
All right, so you mean the end of the show? We're at 9:51 again. This is very weird. 9:51. He goes, "Oh, we gotta go," and then realizes that he has like 20 minutes of show to still do.
Yeah.
And then we get once again. This is like a new recurring thing. Chris
Wilding
for 20 minutes. This is not humane. This is almost just cruel. At this point,
you know what? He loves him some Chris Wilding.
Oh, yes, he does.
I don't understand it. I mean, I think the Dr. Now impersonation is probably the best thing that he does, and I think that's all he's got. But he is really ever present now. I mean, just.
But also, let's remind people we have another very exciting Whack Pack update going to happen next Wednesday.
Oh, what?
Medicated Pete fulfills his dream to dance nude live on our show. And plus, he will be judged by a special celebrity guest. As you know, Medicated Pete has a large penis and really wants to dance naked in front of people and have them stare at his penis. And we've said we're going to make this happen, and it's going to happen, and we have a celebrity guest who will view him.
Who's looking for this?
Nude. So we want to make dreams come
Well,
true.
we know who is.
Whack Pack on Wednesday, Robin. You look puzzled, but,
I am.
yeah.
I don't recall.
Why can't you
that-
just be happy for people? Why can't you just be happy?
I don't recall
Yeah.
him having that dream of dancing
come
nude
on.
in the studio.
Where have you been? A special wrap-up show with Cheech and Chong today at 11 a.m. Eastern Pacific on Howard 101. We're very excited about that. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
That's it. That's all you get.
That's after almost 20 minutes of Chris Wilding talking about Underdog, another person they abuse that in such a mean-spirited manner. I mean, and they dragged out 5 minutes of content to try to get, and even today he was so lazy, he didn't even do 2 hours and 50 minutes. He literally he couldn't even get close to 3 hours. He just said, because he did 20 minutes of break, said, fuck it. Just left.
All right.
Yeah.
All
Weekend
right.
starts.
All right. So, yeah. A couple of things I wanted to just bring up. I did not have on my bingo card at all. Elizabeth Hurley with Billy Ray Cyrus. Like, I don't even understand this combination. I don't understand what world they would have met each other in. I think she might be a little bit of a freak herself. She's got a fantastic fucking body for her age. I am
Any age.
Oh, for any age, bro.
Any age, absolutely.
It is amazing that she still looks as great as she does. And so I give her all the credit in the world for looking just fantastic, which she does. She just
You know
does.
what's amazing is when she used to famously date Hugh Grant. Have you
Yeah.
seen what that dude looks like now?
No.
He looks like Santa Claus, man. And she looks freaking like the same as when that whole thing went down.
You know what? I think she's a witch then. She's probably a witch.
She might be a vampire, bro. You know, like
or a vampire. Yeah,
No,
she's definitely.
she's the devil. Remember, she was in Bedazzled.
Oh, that's right.
You know, and she hasn't aged one day since.
No, she's
that movie came out.
amazing. And also, her son is incredibly feminine looking, and he just kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Oh dear.
And he, let me see if I can get you a better picture.
It must be weird that your mom's hotter than any broad that you could possibly score.
Yeah, exactly. That's a high bar.
There's like
That really
you're not as
is.
hot as my mom, dude.
So his name is Damien, and
Oh dear
he's-
Lord.
Dude, that's a dude.
This is a dude. Yeah,
Wow.
he's as feminine.
Very androgynous looking.
Yeah, and he
But who's the dad?
Oh, so the dad is a guy named is it David Burke? Oh, let me look. I have to.
David Berkowitz.
Rich
No,
dude.
no.
Guarantee you it's a rich dude.
David Berkowitz.
David Berkowitz.
His dad, Steve Bing, who killed himself, I think. Steve Bing.
Didn't
yeah,
he create
died,
Bing?
He died at 55 in LA. He was a really, really wealthy dude.
What a shocker.
And they had the baby, and they never really were really together, maybe just for like a hot minute. And he had a relationship with her, led to pregnancy. He urged her to have an abortion, but she refused. He denied paternity because he said that he and Hurley had a brief, non-exclusive relationship in 2001. He literally just banged her. DNA test established Bing as the child's father. Hurley gave birth to him April 2002. Hugh Grant is Damien's godfather. So this Damien dude is really just very androgynous.
He has been dealt a really good set of cards here.
Yeah, no.
I mean, Hugh Grant is your godfather.
Well, look him up now. Since you got the browser up, put Hugh Grant 2025.
Okay.
No, just for shits and giggles, since we're short today.
This one?
2025?
That's 2025, not now.
Oh,
Well, it's
sorry.
the same thing now.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, see, look, there it is.
Well, look how different the pictures are.
Oh my
Al.
god, it's completely different.
Oh my God, so different. Ooh.
Ooh.
I don't think he looks that bad. He
Well,
looks like himself.
The last time I saw-
Very distinguished looking.
Last
He
time
looks
I
like
saw
an
him on
old
the
English
show, dude, he
gentleman.
looked freaking old, bro.
Well, you know what? He's 64.
He is old.
He's aging. He's aging. But yeah, so Damien is like this weirdo, and he wrote a movie, and he's directing it, and she's in it. But in no world did I have Billy Ray Cyrus as the person that she would be.
I thought Billy Ray was married.
So he just recently got a divorce. And hold on, let's go to that. Billy Ray.
He's a
And the
weird
thing
looking
is,
dude too, man.
Billy Ray Cyrus had
Look at
one
that
hit.
picture of him, dude. He's
One
a
hit.
weird- Yeah. He looks like if Elle McPherson's hair made it with 38 Special.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get this look at all. Sorry.
It's a look.
Yeah.
And
But
he's a great parent too.
His kids are so fucked up.
Yeah.
His kids are so fucked up. Didn't something happen where like the sisters, Miley's sister lost her boyfriend to a mom or something like that. Yeah. Some weird shit was like some
Wait, give this to me now.
It's something happened.
First of all, she's weird looking too. Let's just go there.
Miley Cyrus's sister,
Noah,
lost her boyfriend to someone's mom or some shit like that. I don't know, or maybe to her mom. No, I think it was her mom, her biological mom. I think that was the story.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
her boyfriend ended up going out with her mom.
Yeah, she married.
That's always good for the psyche. That's always good for you. Jesus.
Yeah, but that's probably the norm for celebrities.
It's normal for Alabama.
I don't know. You look at the Kardashians, and there's 6 degrees of separation between them and pretty much everybody that they've ever fucked, dated, had a baby with, and then somebody else in their family wound up dating that person, or like the one who Rob Kardashian has a baby with.
Oh, that chick's nasty, bro.
Yeah, Black China.
She is nasty.
Right. So Black China.
I can't believe it.
I
forget about that. I just forget that is
no. Actually... That picture is like that's doing her a favor, bro.
I know shit.
Those like TMZ picture with just day to day. She's just nasty looking, bro.
Black China has a baby with him and also this guy Tigger, who also happened to date Kylie Jenner when she was only like 16.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, so he dated Black China for 3 years and then Kylie Jenner for 2 years. But then his girlfriend had a baby with both her brother and him. I mean, it's just bizarre to me. These fucking people are insane.
And then people make fun of the Deep South.
Yeah, as well we should.
But this is LA. This is even crazier.
Both things can be true at the same time.
Exactly. Jesus. What the? I mean, literally everybody in that neighborhood is related to each other.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. It's very incestuous in its own bizarre way. Okay, there was another clip I wanted to play, and it was the one, Xavier, you and I talked about this morning, but let me see if I can find it really quickly. Also, a shout out to JJ Thrash, who's in our listening thread, who is sending me a Depeche Mode t-shirt. I'm very excited.
Tigger and Pooh?
No. Tigger and Pooh. That's right. All right, hold on a second. Let me see if I can find this really quickly. Okay, this is great. Copy link. Let me share with my pals here. Okay, this was a great clip. Yeah, because you know how much we love freaks. Okay. I'm hoping none of you saw this, so let's.
I have no idea what this is.
Okay. Oh, really? Oh, you're in for a treat.
You are in for a treat. Here we go.
They're recounting some of the drama that unfolded on the Sunshine Coast this afternoon. Two sisters have told how their mother and man raced to help when the carjacked SUV rolled on Steve Irwin Way, only to find the gun-wielding car thief emerging from the wreck. Here's some of what they had to say.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, "Run, he's got a gun." And our heart started to pound, and I said, "Oh, Mum, where's Mum?" And poor Mum was stuck up there. But apparently our brave Mum, she goes, "Are you all right?" Because he had all blood all over his face. And he goes, "I'll shoot you." She goes, "Hey, I'm here to help." And Mum distracted him to make him look the other way, and he looked the other way, and Mum ran into the bush behind the fence. And the guy goes to her, "I'll find you and I'll shoot you." All I was thinking about when we were running, I hope he doesn't fire.
Bizarre.
Yeah, we were so glad.
You know, it's sad that Doublemint Gum doesn't do commercials anymore. Because these two would be the spokesgirl.
Guys, think about this. Think about how close to each other they need to be. I mean, the
identical twins.
They were once the same zygote.
Twin is crazy when you think about it. It really is. It's insane to know that your sister is going to say the exact same thing as you. And let's be honest,
Better run. He has a gun.
They're not road scholars. I mean, you know.
Hey, Xavier, you used to watch G.I. Joe, right?
Kind of, yeah. Why?
So they're like the twins that were in there, Tomax and Zaymont. They would always talk with each other, you know. They'd always speak like that too.
Yeah. Am I the only one that noticed that this happened on Steve Irwin Way?
No, I heard that too. Yeah.
So there's no stingrays allowed.
Yeah, apparently.
What are they wearing, by the way?
The same tops,
like a bunny shirt or something.
Yeah, same pair of bunny shirts.
I mean, they are the same person.
And do you think you were?
Well, see, he was up there, and we were past see, our when you driveway. Yeah. You don't think of all of that at the time. No, you just run for your safety.
Oh my God! They filled in sentences for each other.
Yes.
Jesus.
It's insane. Honestly, it's insane.
Oh my God.
I love everything about that. I just
wow.
Oh, nurses. That's why they're crazy. Yes. All right.
It's like that one episode where Droopy had a twin, and the twin kept on beating up the other dog, Butch.
I don't
No
even
strangers.
know. You're just so delicious with the stupidness. It just
wow, that was
yeah, right? I know. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, one girl is weird and the other one is weird. Yes.
Yeah, I'll agree with this.
I told
Dory
you.
Morgan, I told you Australia is just Florida with British accents. Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God, yeah.
Hey, can we show my one picture of
yes.
Oh, okay. So let's go to this. So
I've only been there for like 30 minutes.
I know. I've been staring at it in amazement.
Wow, like that? Like
so, like, can you put it up so we can see it?
Like that? No, let me stop my screen so that we can
she's over.
Can we okay, so what are we looking at here?
That would be
It's a white pointer in False Bay. Actually, that is
gingerbread man they have luring him in there with it? What is
they chummed the water, then we got into a cage that was bolted onto the side of the boat.
No, what is this on a rope?
It's
here?
a seal.
It's a seal. It's False Bay has like thousands of seals in it. That's why they're having such a high population of great whites there.
Wait, are they chumming the water with a seal?
Well,
no.
They
That's
chum
a
the water
cold
and they have
seal.
the decoy.
It's a decoy. It's a piece of wood.
Okay,
I think it was styrofoam. I think, but yeah.
I want to do it bigger so that I can actually study it. Remove, add to stage.
That is a big shark.
I think it's a little bit over 10 feet, 10, 15 feet maybe.
Yeah, that's big enough. That's big enough.
And I took that with a Canon Elf. This is before GoPros.
Wow. This is before you got in the water?
Well, obviously, yes, because I mean,
I don't
Canon
know.
Elf. If you breathe on it, it would have, the humidity would have killed it.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ! I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm
I have no
sweating.
interest. I have no interest in this.
I'm
None.
sweating just looking at the picture. I couldn't fathom being on the boat.
No.
I
Well, the
couldn't
thing is,
fathom-
here's the thing: is they have what they do is, they have the cage, and it's bolted to the side of the boat. So you just jump into the water, into the cage, and you get to see the sharks for like a split second as they whiz by, in the water.
Well,
yeah, no.
Let me show
No.
you this one. You're gonna fucking shit your pants. Hold on one second.
I mean, it's pretty safe, dude. I mean, if I did it, anybody can do it.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna show this to you. This is
Sure.
hang on. This is in Mexico. A tourist was swimming in a cage with great white sharks, and this happened.
Uh-oh.
Basically, the shark got into the fucking tank,
Yeah, no thanks.
and they couldn't get the chick out fast enough.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well.
Does she get a refund?
Oh, that shark is not happy.
Oh shit! There is not a.
How did he get in the cage?
It went through the cage.
It broke through.
Well,
where is she?
Well, it's like I was telling Mo, those cages are aluminum, so they don't rust. So I mean, when you're holding it, if you start pulling on it, you can actually separate the bars. They're not very sturdy.
Look like
if anything, it's kind of more of a visual deterrent to the shark than anything else.
Can you even fucking imagine?
I bet they had to throw that wetsuit out.
Yeah.
Dude, wow. First you say it, then you do it. Yeah, no. She
became disoriented and accidentally breached the bars. Incredibly, the diver escaped unharmed after the shark broke free and swam away.
Dude, that would be, yeah.
I would literally move to Nebraska at that point. I would never. I wouldn't even want to see an ocean.
No,
that's right there on Guadalupe Island where they're going.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. That's Guadalupe Island.
Oh, that's funny. Wow, that's funny. I didn't realize. I did not realize.
Oh, that's a
Jesus Christ! Fuck you. Fuck you.
Come on.
They say if you just punch it in the nose, it'll go away.
Oh, sure, because that's what I would.
Have you ever tried punching anything in the water, bro? It's
no.
There's a considerable amount of resistance.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're all going. Oh my God, we're gonna lose the $4,000.
Wow,
that's a big shark. That is literally that's a giant shark.
You know, it's funny. It's just like I remember, like just trying to trim my German Shepherd's nails. You know, dogs that doesn't want to fucking have their nails trimmed. Like, okay, we're good. Or like trying to pick up a cat that doesn't want to be picked up. Like, I can't imagine being in a cage with that thing thrashing.
No way. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No,
Mr. Ostrowski, bang 2 pots together.
Sure. Let me get it out of my pocket. Sure. Bang 2 pots. How crazy is that, though? It's like kind of insane. All right. Well, that's it for us. So listen, do not forget that tomorrow night, Dennis is doing his second live show. And third. That's right. Sorry, third.
My third.
My third. And so he is excited to take your questions and to chat with you live online in the YouTube machine where he does his show. Is there a topic that you will be focusing on?
There's a few topics now. First one I actually put out there. Hey, would anybody like to talk about and like about information on like your car, like service manuals, stuff of that nature, because these are important things. The other thing happened the other day, and I'll have even more follow-up tomorrow because I went over and helped a guy with a GTX. And, I was helping him with his turn signals, and he said his brake pedal wasn't so great. So I went and I pulled the master cylinder cover off, and I saw basically like mud, which really should not be in there.
Yeah. He's running a paraquat.
Damn. And so I'm going to kind of go over about, when you buy a car that's been done.
What do you mean done?
Like somebody else fixed it. You
Yeah.
didn't fix it. Someone else fixed it. Probably should bring someone else with you just to look at shit, because he never took the master cylinder off this car to look at it. Just to even look at the brake fluid to see what it looked like. And honest to God, he's been driving his car around and he's basically been using water to stop. No brake fluid. There's water in there. And I don't know how the car was stopping.
Yeah.
I have no idea. And so I'm going to try to get it bled out and cleaned so it'll be usable. This is, but
wait, what does that have to do with the live show? I'm confused.
It's one of the topics I'm going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about, like, literature, be able to help, so you can work on your car. I have a bunch of service manuals, but then also, when you go get a car, you probably should have someone come with you to make sure you open up stuff that, could be problems. Because, I don't know how this car was stopping. Really, I don't know. Because he said, my brake pedal kind of sticks sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, 70% of Mo does not like hearing Dennis talking about the master cylinder. Wow.
Well, the cool thing is, guys, you should tune in, because Dennis is going to do this in the back of a pickup truck surrounded by dingoes. Tempered dingoes.
So what is this thing? I saw some people talking about it on our show, on the website, RadioGunk.com/forums, about how they're using car brokers now. Like, why is that a thing? Who would fucking pay somebody $1,000 when you could save yourself $1,000 if you did your own work? I don't understand it.
It's allegedly to get you a better deal on a new car. And even for a used car, go find you a used car, like especially a classic. They have brokers also for classics,
which I understand. I get that,
but also for new cars. All right, so this all became because of the shortage that happened, and dealers being dealers and trying to rip people off, because that's what their business is, to rip you off.
Yeah,
and they had these brokers that were going to be and to try to save you money, and you're too lazy and stupid to be able to go and do your own research to find out what dealer won't rip you off. Because all the manufacturer's pricing is available. You can find anybody.
Everything is available online
except Ferrari. But once you're in that tax bracket,
okay, the broker is really probably in that.
Dennis, real question. Are these guys, is it a flat fee or is there like prorated?
Flat fee.
So flat fee. So whatever I pay a dude $500, but the best they can do is save me a couple of bucks, and so I'm still on the hook for the difference for him.
Well,
if he did a shitty job.
So there's a guy on our site who was buying his daughter like a $25,000
Honda Civic.
A Honda, right? And it's like, who? And he's paying a broker $1,000 to find him a $25,000 car. And to me, that seems like an incredible waste of money. Am I wrong?
Well, he saves you the money technically, but who knows? I don't know.
First of all, I don't know. See, now you're in a really weird zone, because a $25,000 Civic at this point is a few-year-old Civic. So now you're in a really weird zone where you're getting a car that may or may not last, 3 or 4 years.
Honestly, Hondas? I thought Hondas were good.
They're good, but on newer cars are special.
Oh, they're all computerized and all that
exactly.
Shit. Okay, I get it.
There's even Toyotas are not immune to this. They have massive problems now.
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, it's because now you have to worry about the mechanical, and you have basically a computer that's gonna.
I just, and then you're paying someone $1,000. To go find this car.
I can't imagine that you can't. You know what? Especially if you know the car. Like, for example, let's go with the Honda Civic, right?
Yes.
You can go to any dealership anywhere and test drive that car. Okay, so you know that you want X. You want the Honda Civic Sport 2025. full stop. Here's what it comes with. The sport model comes with X, things and whatever. So you know the car. So you know what? I'd sooner get a great deal on a car in fucking Wisconsin and pay the $1,000 to get it shipped to me than to pay a broker. It just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. And I found one.
It's silliness. It really is. It's just like when you go and buy a car at one of these old car at one of these consignment places.
Mm-hmm.
Those places are for suckers. That's literally because I know I've looked at these cars. I've known people that put cars in there.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times they're a flipper car. There's something you do not want to own. They're not made. They're not done well. If the car is red, if it's retail red, run away from the car. Just
what do you mean
retail
red? What do you mean?
If the car's painted red, that means they want to sell it because red is a really catchy color on old cars. It's a color it's used to sell an old car.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That they just call it retail red because you're going to make a sale on that one because it's red. And I always look at the red cars the hardest because it's like,
do you think
what's wrong with this? Like,
do they paint them red so that they sell them?
Yes.
Curious.
Yes, and it's like, yeah. I mean, and the consignment right now, people are unloading cars like nobody's business because the consignment place was full.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not a great sign. Former father-in-law has a 488 Spider. The annual service is $70. Yes, it is $7,500. Yep.
For what?
That's a Ferrari, and I mean Ferraris are the cars that have the $25,000 brake job.
Yeah, my friend, one of my friends down here has a Ferrari. I don't know them, so I couldn't tell you what kind it is. Let me see if I can find it while we're talking. And there was a party at this other dude's house, and he brought his Ferrari with him. And I left because I had my dog with me, so I left.
Did you bring your Ferrari?
I did not.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's this car, but not this color. Hang on, let me show it to you. And then I'll tell you the story really quickly.
It's this car.
I'm going to show it to you. Give me a second.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Fancy.
I guess.
I need to be alone.
So it's not that color. Oh, what happened?
Well, then fuck it then.
What color is it?
It's
yellow.
It's not a red Barchetta.
They're either yellow or red, right?
Actually, my friend has a blue one. I have a friend that has a blue one.
A blue-gray color.
What? Barchetta?
This car in like a blue-gray. So anyway.
Portofino.
So he left after me, and apparently because of the party, there's not a lot of parking at these stupid houses down here. And he had like a scratch going across like the right here. Yeah, he went absolutely apeshit. Absolutely fucking apeshit.
Somebody keyed it or what?
No, I don't think it was keyed. I think that just somebody opened their car door next to his car because they're parked kind of tightly together there and scratched his car. Yeah, he was devastated.
That's a really expensive oops.
Yeah,
that's a painfully expensive oops.
They're saying this is an entry-level car, so yeah, I guess
it's a $250,000 entry-level car.
Oh.
It's $250,000. It's a Ferrari. That's the entry level. That's entry level. Because my daughter's friend, her father works at a Ferrari dealership and brought a Puro Sangue, which is their SUV. He goes, yeah, there's like a dozen in the United States. This one's it's $600,000.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's it.
But you know what? It's a small car, and it feels like a little bit weirdly cramped inside.
They don't make those cars for big dudes.
I mean, Tom Selleck could never put the roof on that car because he couldn't fit in it.
That's amazing.
That was a 348. He could not fit in that car.
Well, dude's like 6'4", so yeah.
I know, but he stuck up. He was above the windshield.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, some cars aren't meant for tall guys. They're just not. I just thought that was so. I asked him the other day because I went to his house on my way home from the gym to hang out with his wife. I was like, "Oh, what happened with the car?" And he's like, well, you know what? I have to take it in for service anyway. So they told me they'll just like buff it out because apparently these cars have like a bazillion coats of paint on them, and apparently it's not that big of a deal. I don't know.
Well, look, just by the dentist look on his face, he's about to buff it out to that car.
Just take it to Mako. He'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. Carsmetics, they'll do a great job.
I can't even imagine. I don't know. I don't know enough about them. I just know it's small inside. It's a little cramped, and that doesn't make me happy.
That's a Ferrari.
All right, friends. So go check out DJ's Classic Garage.
Tomorrow night.
Link is in the information below. What time are you doing it? 8:30 or?
I'm doing 8:30 because I'm going to a cigar event first.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right. So is anything going on next week? Do we have any guests?
Yeah, we only have Medicated Pete dancing with his penis.
I'll be sure to look forward to that.
I can't wait.
All right, friends. So that's it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We shall not see you anon, but we will definitely see you at some point next week, I guess, right?
See you non
Monday night.
See you non. Thank you, Al, for joining me tonight.
Always a pleasure.
Yes, loved having you. And hey, Jeremy Harrelson, we'd love to have you on again soon too. So I'll reach out to you on PMs on our site. All right, friends. So the Jackie Chair, I didn't know you were a cigar guy. I smoke one every gunk show. Oh, look at you. Look at you, fancy pants.
All of a sudden, everybody's
fancy. I can't afford to smoke every show.
I'd like to see you. I'd like to see you do the show smoking a cigar one day.
I can't be doing it in this room. There would be very many problems if I did it in here.
Hell to pay.
I'll have to do it out on my little lanai.
Exactly.
My little lanai. I have to sit out there.
Relegated to outdoors. All right, friends. Have a great night. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you soon. So goodbye. Thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any discussion at radiogunk.com in the forum section. Follow us on Instagram or Twitter at RadioGunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so that you know when we're going to have a new show. Thanks.